3 pieces of the Triforce? 3 episodes in the Super Smash Bros. Costume Origins series? This seems like the perfect episode to tackle the costume origins from the Zelda series. Of course, starting with the main character himself, Link. Link's very first appearance was as one of the original 12 cast members in Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64, as well as one of his earliest appearances in 3D, with only The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time beating it out. As a result, his appearance in Smash is based on Ocarina of Time, as well as several of his costumes. His red tunic most immediately resembles the Goron tunic obtained in Ocarina of Time, which allows Link to survive intense heat without breaking a sweat. Link can also obtain a red tunic in the original Legend of Zelda while wearing a red ring, and in Zelda 2 when using the shield spell. Link's blue tunic is a direct reference to the Zora tunic from Ocarina of Time, which allows Link to breathe underwater. Finally, Link has a white tunic, which is based on his appearance in the original Legend of Zelda when he obtains the blue ring. Super Smash Bros. Melee gives Link only one new costume, a black tunic to counter his white tunic costume. This black tunic is meant to be a more subtle reference to Dark Link from Ocarina of Time, rather than being an exact costume. Super Smash Bros. Brawl gave Link a total rehaul, now basing him off of his Twilight Princess appearance as opposed to his previous Ocarina of Time appearance. As a result, he looks very different, but 4 of his costume references remain intact as in the previous games. Additionally, Link gains 2 new costumes. The first now turns his previous black tunic into a full-blown Dark Link costume, complete with dark skin, dark hair, and glowing red eyes. This costume is based on the appearance of the dark interlopers that appear to Link in a vision during the events of Twilight Princess. The other is a yellow tunic costume, possibly a reference to Link's appearance in Twilight Princess when he consumes the Great Fairy's tears. These tears restore all of Link's hearts and double his attack power, causing him to glow yellow for a short time. Finally, Link gains 3 costumes in Smash for 3DS and Wii U, with 1 being replaced. First, Link gains a purple tunic. This is meant to serve as a reference to the 4th Link in the 4 Swords branch of Zelda games, and completes the quartet in Link's costume options. Next, Link is given an outfit that resembles his appearance from Skyward Sword as a citizen of Skyloft, before he obtains the standard green tunic. This Skyloft outfit replaces the previous all-white tunic. Link's final costume references his appearance when he wears the Fierce Deity mask in The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. However, the tunic and hat are made gray in order to prevent any confusion with Link's Skyloft costume. Briefly, we'll look at Young Link, Link's clone character in Super Smash Bros. Melee. But there's really not a lot to see. Simply put, every one of Young Link's costumes are the same as Link's. And the reason's pretty obvious. Young Link is literally just Link as a child, so there isn't much difference here. Now let's look at more in-depth characters from Super Smash Bros. Melee, starting with Zelda and her ninja counterpart, Sheik. None of Sheik's costumes really have any origins. Zelda's costumes supply all of the origins and references, while Sheik was simply designed to match the color schemes after transforming. Of course, Zelda and Sheik's design in Melee is based on their appearance in Ocarina of Time. Zelda's red costume is based on Zelda's sprite from the original Legend of Zelda if Link equips the red ring. It can also potentially resemble her appearance in Zelda 2: Adventure of Link. Zelda's blue costume is based on Zelda's sprite if Link equips the blue ring in the original Legend of Zelda. It can also further be based on her maiden outfit from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Her green costume is also based on her appearance in the original Legend of Zelda, this time if Link doesn't obtain either ring. Her white costume references her standard appearance in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Just like with Link, Brawl brought a major redesign to Zelda, basing it on her appearance in the more recent Twilight Princess. Concept art was also drawn of Sheik during Twilight Princess development, so Sheik's design in Brawl is taken from that as well. Despite these redesigns, both her red and green costumes are still references to her NES appearance based on Link's whole jewelry situation. Her blue costume also still contains the same references as before, however Sheik's blue costume has been updated to slightly reference Tetra, Zelda's secret identity in The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, with a blue top and red scarf. Next, Zelda's pink costume references her previous appearance in Melee, which extends as a reference to her appearance in Ocarina of Time, complete with turning Zelda blonde. Finally, Zelda and Sheik have a black costume, likely a Smash original and possibly meant to be a part of the growing collection of dark costumes for the Zelda characters. Despite these characters being split up in Smash for 3DS and Wii U, The references still mostly rest on Zelda, with Sheik's costume simply designed to match. Zelda's blonde references are also tweaked a bit in this installment of the series. First, her blonde hair and pink dress costume becomes more of a reference to her appearances in A Link to the Past and the sequel A Link Between Worlds. Zelda also gains a second costume which makes her blonde, this time referencing her appearance as an adult in Ocarina of Time 3D. Finally, Zelda receives a white costume, which hints at her Skyloft appearance from Skyward Sword. Ganondorf's design in Melee is based on his appearance in Ocarina of Time as well. Unfortunately, all of his recolors seem to be Smash originals that simply exist out of the need for different colored costumes. They simply change the color of his armor to be more predominantly one color, either red, blue, green, or purple. In Brawl, Ganondorf's design has also been changed to be based more on his Twilight Princess design. The lack of origins in Melee does extend over to Brawl, with one exception. Ganondorf's brown costume is based off of his appearance in the Space World 2000 Zelda tech demo. Aside from this, his purple costume has been replaced with the black armor, white-haired variant commonly referred to as Old Manondorf, because he looks like an old man, obviously. This costume also adds to the dark costume theme that runs with the Zelda characters. Ganondorf's design stays consistent in Smash for 3DS and Wii U, with one minor cosmetic adjustment. All of his costumes now feature a glowing scar on his chest, a reference to Twilight Princess, where the sages originally attempted to execute Ganondorf, and where Link then stabs him with the Master Sword later in the game. Aside from this, Ganondorf's costumes shift around a bit. First, Ganondorf regains a purple costume, which is the first for his Twilight Princess design. Next, he gains a costume that can reference Yuga from A Link Between Worlds. Note the brighter red hair somewhat matches between the two. Finally, Ganondorf's old blue armored costume is now updated to give him blue skin. This is meant to be a reference to Ganondorf's nasty habit of transforming into the pig monster, Ganon, who is often portrayed with blue skin. Between the releases of Melee and Brawl, both Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were released, which created the infamous timeline split that Zelda fans know and love. Because of these two games, two different styles of Link were created, the more serious, gritty one, and the more cartoony, cel-shaded one. So, to replace young Link, Toon Link was instead added to Brawl to serve as a semi-clone of Link, while also referencing an entire other branch of the Zelda series not currently referenced by the other Zelda reps. Toon Link's first three costumes are very obvious. They complete the colors worn by the four Links in the Four Swords series of games, a handful of games which also take on the more cartoon style that Wind Waker introduced. Link's next costume is based on Link's appearance in the original Legend of Zelda. A minor detail in this costume is that his pants are also made a more skin tone-like color, which references how Link used to simply not wear pants. For some reason. Finally, just like his more serious counterpart, Toon Link receives a Darkling skin, which is also an adaptation of the Dark Interloper's appearance. Toon Link gains two additional costumes in Smash for 3DS and Wii U. The first is a white costume which resembles Link's appearance when he equips the blue ring in the original Legend of Zelda. This is a nice reference as it replaces the one that was previously on Link in Brawl, but who now has a more unique white costume in this game. So as a result, Toon Link received this white costume instead. And finally, Toon Link receives a costume which references Link's appearance in A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds, minus the pink hair. And that's it for all of the Zelda costume origins. These were obviously much easier to assign an origin for than the Pokemon costumes, but I really like that they include all sorts of references from the huge library of Zelda games. For next time, let me know if you guys like to see a video on the costume origins from the Donkey Kong series, Wario, Yoshi, and Little Mac, or if you'd like to see a video on the Metroid, Star Fox, and Captain Falcon costume origins. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, it would be awesome if you guys hit the like button down below. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.